Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So guys, it finally happened. XRP just hit a new all-time high, and it's just getting started. This coming from Ali Charts here, and he retweeted out his post from yesterday. The last time the MVRV ratio flashed the golden cross, XRP did soar 630%. That signal just appeared again. And so obviously we did see that activity on the XRP chart yesterday. XRP did go past all-time high, and I know in the comments section some people were trying to call me out here. All-time high is not $3.40. All-time high is $3.84. Well, although that is technically true, for all intents and purposes, I want to say all-time high is $3.40, and the reason is because we only did see that all-time high of $3.84 on the Coinbase exchange, and that was back in 2018. And at that point, Coinbase had listed XRP, then delisted it during the lawsuit. So now when we have the Coinbase chart, we only have it from when it decided to relist XRP back in July of 2023. So this is where the history starts on the Coinbase chart. Unfortunately, today, back in 2018, it did reach $3.84, but at this point in time now, we do not have any chart history denoting that fact. So it's kind of like it didn't exist, which is kind of weird. But yes, to those people saying all-time high $3.84, technically that is true on one exchange. But if you look here, guys, there are so many different exchanges that do list XRP: Coinbase, Bitstamp, Binance, Crypto.com, Kraken, Bitfinex, Poloniex, Gemini, and so many others. And when you go to any other of these exchanges, if you do look back to all-time high, you will be able to see that all-time high was still in that $3.34 range back in 2018. And then this time around, we got up to about $3.40 in 2025 back in January. That would be in and around here, or $3.39 and a half, give or take. So before yesterday, I'm going to say the all-time high was $3.40. And I'm going to continue on with that metric moving forward, just in case some people were confused. But British Miss here saying, congrats to those who held XRP through all the turmoil since the beginning of January 2018. We deserve it. Yes, we definitely deserve this. I think more than many investors in crypto. We have been holding, we have been steadfast, we have been doing this for years, despite people calling us crazy. And now, guys, we are succeeding. This is the hourly chart for XRP. So this blue line here, it denotes the former all-time high set back in January 2025, just recently. And now, guys, we've actually reached a new all-time high for XRP. There's going to be a Patreon update coming out today. I'm sorry I would have had it out last night, but I was out last night. Doesn't matter. We aren't breaking out towards my next targets, at least not yet. And for those of you guys interested in the Patreon, okay, I was toying with this idea. Was I going to do it? Was I not? I'm bringing back old school prices, guys. So for only $5 a month, if you subscribe and stay subscribed, you can access everything over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. And guys, these next months are going to be fantastic. They're going to be exciting. So it is for a limited time only. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, only $5 a month again. Check it out if you guys are interested. XRP right now at $3.47. So we did see XRP retrace significantly since it did see that high. And again, this is the 1 hour chart. Significantly, I think, is relative. It did go down about just over 7%. And now it's back down about 5.32%. But that high, $3.66, that is the beginning of, I think, what we're going to see coming down the pike next. So what are we to expect next? I mean, there's so much involved here. There's so much to be looking at. And we're going to take a look at some of this as we move forward. So look at that, back testing the all-time high for XRP. As you guys can see, if I go on the 5-minute chart, this line here would be the back test because that is the all-time high. You guys can see we got up there yesterday, got rejected back yesterday afternoon, right? Went down here to about $3.27 and then boom, lift off. And now, guys, we're back testing all-time high yet again. So looks like we're coming out of a double bottom pattern. Hopefully now we can get up, and I think the next level to test is this new all-time high, $3.66 per coin. So yeah, congratulations to everybody who held, as you can see. And this is an interesting metric too. This is very important. Fear and greed is still only at 71. And when I say only at 71, it's because the rest of the crypto market is not really ripping. There have been some coins that have been doing better than others. Ethereum, for example, is up 4.86%, although XRP is up 6.25% in the last 24 hours. We're seeing Dogecoin up 11.33. Tron is up 6.59. Cardano's up 4.6. So there are some coins that are doing okay. Is this the beginning of alt season? Well, look at that. Alt season is at 50 out of 100 now. And the market cap actually went up to, I think it went up above $4 trillion, if I'm not mistaken. Let's bring up the total crypto market cap here. And I've got it on the 5-minute. But as you guys can see, doesn't really matter if I have it on the 5-minute or not. This was the peak right up here. And that was roughly 3.91 trillion. So not quite $4 trillion, but we're testing that level. We're testing those levels. And when we're getting very, very close. David Portnoy has a confession to make. I sold my XRP 2 weeks ago. No further comments at this time. Oh my goodness.
I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I can't lie to my people. I have a confession. I sold XRP when it went up to 240 because the guy who told me to buy it told me that I should sell it because he thought Circle would compete with him. And he was unhappy with it. It's up 60% since I sold it, and I would have made millions, and I want to cry, and I don't own it anymore. Even though I was like the leader of the XRP army, I sold it.
You were never the leader of the XRP army. I hate to break it to you. Same with BitBoy Crypto. Never the leader of the XRP army. We have our own community, and I think we're very happy with our community. I love when these people think they can just swoop in and proclaim that they are the leaders of the XRP army. Anyway, there are a lot of reasons why we are seeing some of these alternative cryptocurrencies rally. Of course, the House did pass all 3 crypto bills. So, guys, this is a milestone. Clarity Act, Genius Act, and the Anti-CBDC Act. An historic win for crypto in the United States. Regulatory clarity is coming, and the future is looking bullish.
Hey, Morgan. Well, the House has now passed all 3 of those crypto bills. The one on market structure that will go to the Senate. The one on banning the central bank digital currency that will also go to the Senate. And, of course, the one on stablecoins. And that one is headed to the White House tomorrow to President Trump's desk. We're already hearing that there is expected to be a ceremony to sign it. That one is a first-of-the-kind rules of the road bill for stablecoins. And, of course, this comes as the crypto industry has long lobbied for these. You saw them sink almost $200 million into lawmakers' campaigns in the 2024 election in hopes of moving these bills. And you've already heard them announce that they have $141 million so far for the upcoming midterms. And they do it in a bipartisan manner, building coalitions. And you can see today it is paid off for them.
So a big win. It has paid off. Well, for politicians and crypto companies alike, Brad Garlinghouse did come out saying the last major financial regulation bill was passed 15 years ago in response to the 2008 financial crisis. And tomorrow, so he was saying this yesterday, which means today, the signing of the Genius Act cements the U.S.'s future in being a leader in truly innovative financial technology, i.e. stablecoins. This moment is an historic one, and I, for one, am looking forward to all that is going to come as a result of this transformational legislation. Thank you to the bipartisan leaders that got it done. And then he tags everybody who participated. Guys, look at that. It is passed. The Genius Act is passed, and so it's going to be signed into law. Stuart Alderati also commenting, the Genius Act now goes to the president's desk, and the Clarity Act moves forward to the Senate. So I recently just did a video, the fact that this is Crypto Week. I posted it earlier this week, stating, if all goes right, if all goes according to plan, President Donald Trump could, in fact, sign some of these bills in by Friday. And I'll link that video up there if you guys didn't catch it. This is exactly what the American people have been asking for. And I like that Chip down here did comment on this. Poor Gary Gensler, all that time playing tyrant at the SEC. And for what? He didn't crush crypto. He lit a fire under Congress. Bravo, Gary. You've managed to fail upward in record time. Well done. I'd also like to thank Elizabeth Warren and Brad Sherman for your tireless, hysterical crusade against crypto. Your nonstop whining didn't kill the industry. You turned skeptics into diehard believers and poured rocket fuel on the fire. Congrats, you played yourselves spectacularly. Let's go, guys. This is just the beginning. We are about to explode. Adrienne Harris also made her way on CNBC discussing, the Stablecoin Act in particular. Here's what she had to say, courtesy of Riz XRP. Listen to this.
Just drill down, because I think people talk about Genius Act all the time, and they don't even know what they're talking about here. I mean, we have conversations on the set recently about tokenization. People are tokenizing private company stock, for example. I don't think this bill addresses whether that's legal or not, technically.
No, so I think it's really important to distinguish crypto assets, tokenization of real-world assets, and stablecoin, which is what Genius addresses, right? So Genius really takes from what we did in New York 3 years ago to put in place guidelines. There will have to be rules written, but things like one-to-one reserving. So to make sure there's $1 for every stablecoin that a stablecoin issuer issues, right? So that's backed one-to-one with cash or cash equivalents, that a consumer can redeem that stablecoin within a timely timeline. So,
are you of the view, so right now Circle is the winner of the game?
Yep.
They're the only game, really. Do you see over time there being multiple Circles as a result of all of this, or is this a winner-take-all proposition?
I think that's a really important question. I do think the regulatory framework coming into place nationally makes it easier for people to come in because there are clearer rules about what's going to be expected. But Circle, for instance, is one of our regulated entities. So they are already subject here in New York to the one-to-one reserving, T+2 redemption, the public attestations of reserves. So all of that is stuff that Circle complies with. Others will now have to comply with it nationally.
I don't know if you can say this or not, but would you short, for example, all of the credit card companies, anybody who owns one of these networks, anybody who's engaged in financial transactions of any sort, given the idea that if stablecoins were to work the way they're supposed to work, you would think the margin compression on all of these fees would go to basically zero.
All the credit card companies, the superintendent of the Department of Financial Services. And you don't mean her, actually. You mean if you were a person who
If you were a person trying to understand where this all goes directionally, if this works the way it's supposed to work, you would think that it would take out a lot of margin. And then the question, who is going to capture that margin?
So that is the promise of stablecoin, right, is that it is redoing the financial infrastructure. So things can move more quickly, they can move more cheaply, faster, right, across borders and all of that. So I will stay away from giving investment advice
or doing it yourself,
or doing anything myself. I don't do that. But that is the espoused promise, is that this is going to remake the financial infrastructure in a way that's digitized. You can have smart contracts, right? So everything becomes more efficient.
I'm going to leave it there. You know, it looks like she's skeptical about it. I don't think she actually believes in it. I feel like her arm has been twisted and she doesn't actually believe in this crypto stuff, if I'm going to be honest. I don't know if you guys remember, but she was very adamantly against Ripple and XRP earlier on during the lawsuit. But now, guys, it's coming to pass. Gary Gensler's goons are gone. I got another clip here in case you were wondering why stablecoin regulation was rushed through tonight. Okay, this coming from Subjective Views. Starting August the 1st, 2025, Hong Kong will launch an offshore renminbi, the RMB. Okay, so that's the Chinese currency stablecoin program that aims to enhance the RMB use in international trade and also establish Hong Kong as a digital currency hub. Interesting to note that back in 2023, Ripple was at a roundtable.
Let's talk about the potential of this renminbi-backed stablecoin maybe disrupting the dependence of digital tokens on the dollar.
Yeah, this is a real possibility. But I think the thing that we all have to focus on, and I think the most important thing to focus on, is will a renminbi stablecoin be good for China's trade and good for China? And I think the answer is yes, it will. And then once this trade takes off and once the use of this coin starts, then we can worry about what it does to the dollar. But whatever, if it is long-term a challenger to the dollar, we will only know that after some years of use. First, we have to build it. First, we have to have people test it and use it. And third, we have to have people love it so that they want to do business with Hong Kong using the digital using the stablecoin RMB.
Okay, so you need to have this sort of longer term outlook. So tell me, why are big brands like JD.com, Ant Group, why are they so keen? What revenue streams might a renminbi stablecoin generate for them?
Sure. These are the two best examples of stablecoin users because Ant Group and JD are both e-commerce providers. They have people buying things from them internationally, and some of the objects they might want to buy are not very expensive. So if I wanted to make a normal transfer payment from, say, United States to China to buy something, and I want to use SWIFT as my payment means, I'll have to pay $50 to my bank just to make the SWIFT transfer. Well, maybe I'm only buying something that costs $25. So it kills low cost, or the cost of a high cost of dollar transfer or any currency transfer, because SWIFT is expensive in virtually any nation you're in. That really inhibits e-commerce. So having access to a stablecoin will give both JD.com and Alibaba access to a near almost costless payment system. So that'll jack up their e-commerce revenue.
Yeah.
Now wait for it.
Yeah.
The next part is if they run the stablecoin, they make money on the reserves that are held by the stablecoin company.
So that's an interesting observation that I wanted to bring to your attention, considering, we do have private stablecoins, and think of the RLUSD, guys. The more the RLUSD, if companies choose to use the RLUSD as a stablecoin, the more network activity, the more network traction it'll get. And this will just bolster the bottom line for cryptocurrencies like XRP. For example, look at the market cap. Look at the volume increase for the RLUSD on the 24-hour. Now, Crypto Eddie just posted this yesterday. Up 841.63%, okay? So now it's up to 1.35 billion, and that was just in the last 24 hours. So we're already seeing some benefits here from stablecoins like the RLUSD. So are you guys ready for the grand finale? This courtesy of Rob Art, a good friend of mine, who's going to pull the trigger when the time is right. This is exactly what we have to be focusing on now. And for a limited time, you guys can subscribe now to the Working Money Channel Patreon. Only $5 a month, rolling back to old school prices. So subscribe and stay subscribed to lock into these prices. The next few months are going to be very, very exciting. I can't wait to start cashing out of some of these cryptocurrencies. How high is XRP going to go? Guys, there's still a lot to gauge. We haven't seen Bitcoin actually surpass a new all-time high in a while. And, it is interesting. Bitcoin hasn't been rallying at the same pace as XRP. So I think there's still more price discovery to be had for my favorite cryptocurrency, XRP. That's just my opinion. I want to also mention that I do have the Working Money Channel merch store. If you guys are interested in maybe supporting the channel by purchasing some Working Money Channel merch, every little bit counts, guys. So thanks so much for those of you guys who have already helped support the channel by purchasing some Working Money Channel merch. I got to say, link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.